Dave here. How are you? Today is the 25th of August 2019. A beautiful day in the Blue Mountains this morning. Bit chilly to start, but today is looking good. We're expecting rain during the week, which is fantastic because a lot of Australia is gripped in drought. So that could be very good for farmers and people that have gardens alike. We have water restrictions on at the moment. Only mild in the Sydney area, but nonetheless, they're there. And fortunately, I have a couple of water tanks on the property because fire area, all that kind of stuff. I made sure that we were going to be looked after as well as we could living in this property. All right. I'm hoping the stream is coming through well, the sound is fine, all of that kind of thing. And I hope you've had a good week. Now, what's on the show today? There's a couple of things, and I think you'll see also, I put on the, when I set the show up, I put a little thing there saying that this will have paid content. Now, it's not really paid to me, if you follow what I mean, but I am going to talk about a product that Carbatec has on sale at the moment. So I thought it'd be fair to label the show in that manner. All right, and I'll also be talking about TSO products, Bigfoot, amazing, I love it. All right, here we go. What's on the show today? Want a chance to win a $500 Carbatec gift card. Now this is for Australia only. Now while I'm at this point, I did speak to the guy who looks after Carbatec Australia and also the guy who owns a franchise business in New Zealand called Carbatec. Now, it's really easy to understand, although sometimes I struggle a little bit with it. It's the same but different. Most of the stuff that goes to New Zealand comes from the Carbatec warehouse in Brisbane. So I hope that makes it clear for everyone. So now I have spoken to the guys over in New Zealand, and because there was a little bit of gripe about not being able to go into the competition for the pull saws, the Japanese saws, so I've sorted that. Now it will not apply to this jet bobbin sander. This is a totally different thing. Carbatec in Australia are way overstocked. They got a full container, which is 270 of these things. A little bit of a mistake. They want to clear them quickly so they can buy other product for you guys to be able to take advantage of. That's all it is. They've dropped the price. I'll talk about it now. They've dropped the price from around 600 bucks, I think it is Australian, $5.99 or something like that, down to $4.99, and that's great. Everyone can just walk into a store and buy them, or you can buy them on the web at that. But here's the deal that I've managed to grab for you. If you purchase it on Carbatec's website, what happens is there will be a little thing pops up that says, do you have a promo code, or enter promo code here. You enter the promo code Stanton, my surname, S-T-A-N-T-O-N, and lift the camera up a bit, it's cutting your head off. Sorry, Chris, is it better now while I'm down here like this? So if you enter my surname in the promo code, and then click the little button to the right-hand side of it, enter code, and then you'll see the code disappears, and you go, oh my God, what's happened here? Well, what's happened there is just above the price that you're going to pay at the bottom on their checkout will say something along the line of, you have been entered into the draw to win a $500 gift card. Now let me see if I can find, I've got a spider running around on the bench in front of me. Give me a second. Here we go. How would you like that arrive in the mail for you? A couple of 200s and a 100, and off you go. Have a ball. So there you go. That's only through this, through my link. If you don't, sorry, through my promo code. If you do not enter Stanton in the promo code, you won't go into the draw. One lucky person in Australia, sorry, this is Australia only, one lucky person will end up, after they've purchase their machine. You know, they're not going to do it for nothing. That's the deal. Buy one of these on their website and put my name, Stanton, in the promo code. You'll go into the draw to pick up $500. Now, it finishes at the end of October or when stock sells out, whichever's first. So don't delay. If you want one, if you've been thinking about getting something like this, now's the chance. You know, and there's a big bonus, possibly, if you're a bit of a gambling person. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to stand back. See, the thing is, Chris, if I push this camera and monitor back any further, it's going to fall off this the assembly table, won't have any picture. So if you're watching on a TV, sometimes it will shrink what's happening. If you're watching on a computer, it should be fine. Next thing, jump in. As I say, in the description box below where it says show more, I've put in, I think I've put the link to the Carbatec website. If I haven't, to the actual bobbin sander. If I haven't done it before the show, as soon as the show's finished, I'll do it straight away. I'm going to write myself a note, as a matter of fact. Put in link for bobbin. A lot of people call them bobbin, a lot of people call them spindle. There you go. It's written down now. Can't miss it. Slap on the wrist workshop sign. Up. Wrong way around. Ha! Oh dear. Zoe had her grand final of netball yesterday, and she was the captain. And there you go. Their team won. So she's over the moon. And then she had to go and play another team. So she played in the juniors, little junior burgers, that's what we call them in Australia. And also, that's fine, Chris. And also then she had to go and play in a Division 1 netball team with her aunt, who is one of my daughters. So these are women, you know, in 30s and 40s, and they are very, very tough in this team. And Zoe's only 13, and she held her own. It was fantastic. She did very, very well. She was stuffed at the end of it, though. She was absolutely stuffed. Okay, excellent. Cool. Next thing. So do that. How do you heat or cool your workshop? I'm curious. What I've got here is a little mini split system. And I find it's the most economical way of keeping this warm or cool, depending on the season, obviously. So we're coming out of winter now, going into spring, so it's going to be nice and warm. It's getting warm. It's beautiful outside at the moment. And then during autumn, colder and colder and colder. So for you guys, but for us, it's summer. I need to keep this cool, otherwise, you know, it's just melting. I've been watching Jay Bates a little bit, setting up his latest workshop. Have you been following him at all? He's fascinating. I love watching other people set up their workshops. Anyway, Jay put a few mini split systems in, and he had the whole thing spray insulated inside. It's just gone crazy. And he thinks it's fantastic because he's in on the Mississippi, I think, and it's quite humid where he lives. You can stand and watch the grass grow, apparently. Anyway, so what I've done is I've got this little mini split system here. Now, you'll notice down in the show more in the description box as well, I've put a link for possibly 5 different countries for a little product called SENSIBO. Now, I'm going to shamelessly show you that. There you go, SENSIBO. That's this little thing here. Now, what it does, I didn't know about this until about a week ago. I was down in Penrith yesterday, the local shopping centre down towards the Big Smoke, and I went into one of the big retail stores, and I was talking to him about what this SENSIBO is. So what I did is I found out that this thing connects to the internet via a wireless connection. So it's just a little sensor, sits on the wall, and it talks to my wireless connection in the shed. And it allows me, through an app on my phone, to turn my air conditioner on, off, adjust the temperature, up, down, adjust the fan speed, adjust everything that my remote can do to that thing. This runs the air conditioner for me. So I can be in Penrith or down at Sydney working, whatever, and I'm thinking, you know, it's a really, really cold afternoon. I want to do some stuff in the shed tonight. How about I turn the air conditioner on now, so before I actually even get there, the shed's warm. It's fantastic, and I've been mucking around with it, and it's fantastic. So I thought, here I am, Mr. Dumbo, didn't know about this stuff. So I thought, as soon as I found out about it, I'd share it with you guys. So as I say, it's a, g'day, Mongrel85, I'm guessing that's Jeremy. So it's one of those things. I can be in bed in the morning before I get up, if it's cold or hot, whatever, ding, 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 turns the shed on for me. So I get up, have breakfast, have a shower. By the time I'm in the shed, it's warm. I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So it's a fantastic idea, and they're not expensive. So as I said, I put a link to Australia, Amazon. These are all Amazon affiliate links. I'm being upfront with it. So I put one to Australia, US, Canada, UK, and Germany. So there was a question earlier about how do I go from New Zealand. I think Amazon Australia will post out to New Zealand. And I think if you're an Amazon Prime person, I got a month for free. I don't know whether I'll continue it or not, but I thought I'll take advantage of it. If they're giving me free shipping, I'll do it. So have a look at all of that. Work through it. But I'm amazed. I'm amazed. It's absolutely fantastic. Because there's nothing worse than walking into the shop and going, oh, geez, it's cold in here. I got to get moving really quick. Turn the heater on. I don't know if it'll work with the infrared panels at all. Anyway, that's the next thing. Let's have a look at the other thing we're going to look at is the TSO DBF-45. And I've got this set up. I have to do some more carving on this. My mum's coming up to see me in a few weeks. I thought I'd get her up here while spring's on, so she can have a look at all of the... I've got a lot of cherry trees here, and the blossom is just fantastic. The place comes alive in spring and in autumn. During summer, it's nice. During winter, it's very ho-hum because they're all deciduous trees just about, and you know, it's just a whole lot of skeleton. But the other 3 seasons is fantastic. All right. Yeah, so what do you think about that idea with this little SENSIBO? Yeah, I wonder if it's calling SENSIBO as in sensible. It's so easy to set up. I've got to talk about it a bit more because I set it up this morning. So what happens is you turn it on. So you download the app. And then on the back of the little sensor, there's a QR thing, you know, that little square box. You put your phone over that and just hold it. And it says, yep, I've got it. Then you get your remote and you aim the remote at the little SENSIBO sensor. You click it on a couple of times and then it says, hey, I've got you. I know what you're doing there. I know that you're the remote that I've got to talk to. You give it a name. Then your phone does it all. You can still use your remote. Anyway, am I the only person that gets blown away by this technology? I'm showing my age, aren't I? All right, moving on. Antique dresser, we're going to do a little bit more on that. Support the channel. I've gone through that enough, so you don't need to worry about all that. I will put that link in for the bobbin sander. So how we're going to do it today is I'm going to muck around with the bobbin sander a little bit first. So I'll put the other camera on. Then we'll come over, I'll get the domino out, show you how easy it is to put this Bigfoot on. I'm going to move this down here, sorry Zoe, and switch the cameras around. I'll pop this one up a little higher so you can see what's going on. And I'll show you the fitting that I use on the bobbin sander. So let's swing around to the other camera. There it is, transition. All right. So here I am with the bobbin sander. I don't know if you can see me here all right. Yep, all good. Now, this is a 2-inch bobbin. It'll take an inch and a half. It's got them all on the back here. If I spin it around, you can see it. 1.5 inches, I think you can see there. I'll tip this down a touch to about there. Okay, you can see them all there. 1.5 inches, 5/8, ½ inch, and 1/4 inch. You can see I've been giving that 1/4 inch curry. Now, the other thing with these sleeves, I don't know if you're aware, but you can undo this, take the sleeve. This is a compression nut that compresses that rubber which holds onto the sandpaper. You undo that, and it's a left-hand thread, so be aware. It's like you're tightening it up. Slide this off, turn it upside down and push it back down again. And also you can use a belt cleaning stick on it. And I'm going to demonstrate that now. I'm going to lock the wheels because I don't like this thing sliding around. Give me a second. This is one of my old cabinets. I've got to really make another one. And I use the 36mm hose onto the dust extractor. Just on this particular time, I'm using the little Festool dust extractor, and it slides in perfectly in the back, and I need to plug it in. I am still going to use face mask because it's sand, and you know, why not? Pop that in there, and this will work through the Festool dust extractor. I used to call them shop vacs, but I got into trouble from a company called Shop Vac. They said, stop using our name or we'll see you in court. And I thought, oh, you got to be kidding me. Gonna have a quick read. Providers using it to manage electricity supply during high demand periods here in Australia. You're all excited. Good on you, Robert. Lynn Golden, you said, pretty cold. I made a wood heater from 45 kilo gas bottle, ran on my offcuts. Watching it live, Jared, are you? Beautiful, from down in Melbourne. The wood show's on down there. Today's the last day. If you're in Melbourne, the Timber Tools and Artisans, the show is on. I think it finishes at 4 o'clock. Wait till my show's finished, 12 o'clock, zap over. I think it's at the race course. I'm not sure. You'd have to, look, jump on the web and check Timber Tools and Artisans, and Candice is running the thing, and she's doing a fantastic job on it. It's going to be on in Canberra in November, and I'll be down there. All right, let's have a look at this. I try not to talk too much while I'm wearing this. All right, this is going to turn the dust extractor on at the same time. Let's see if it's got it. Beautiful. I'll just put it on there. This guy here, belt cleaning stick. So that's just a quick demo of it being used. Now, you'll notice up the top here, there's a bit of sawdust hanging around on the top. That's because of the nature of the beast. It's got this really large open area here, which it has to have because this thing also tilts over to 45 degrees, which I find to be terrific. You can lock it at any position. It's got these little protractors on the side. I think I did a video on this a few years back. So if you have a look back through, I might even throw something up, like a card or something like that, so you can have a look. And what a great little machine. Cast iron, it's nice and quiet. It's not a brushed motor, it's just a little induction motor under there. Works away, bobbing up and down, and does your internal curves. And a special, as I say, $100 off and a chance to get $500 worth of gift cards if you happen to be the lucky one. But you've got to order it through Carbatec's website and put my name in as the promo code. Now, none of the stores are going to let you do that because they don't know even that I've been given this promo code. This is just a little secret squirrels one between you and me and the guys that run Carbatec. Anyway, great machine. So I'm going to move that out of the way now and undo that, turn that on to manual. All right, now that brings me to another thing. A lot of you will know that I bought wasn't given, I bought the Festool separator, the dust separator. Now that's this thing just here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it yet. I'm going to tip this down so you can see it. So it's this guy here. The glasses are filthy. That's not a whole lot better. Sorry, give me a sec. I'll do a quick read. Well, it doesn't burn, and also it keeps the sandpaper clean. It's a good system. Okay, so here we go. What we've got here, this is the separator. It's not, I'll come over a little bit closer so you can see me actually talking to you. It's not as efficient as a standard cyclone. You will lose around 30% suction with this thing. Now, how it works, but it still works, that's the thing. How it works is, in here, you've got this kind of like a fan baffle. It spins the air through here, and then it goes down into the collection bin underneath. So it sucks, there's the sander or whatever I'm using over here, comes in that way, the dust from that goes down into the dust extractor down the bottom, but on the way down, it gets rid of an awful lot of the dust. I have emptied this container. Where is it? This container will go in between. I leave it off a lot of the time because it still works just going into this bottom one. I'll show you how good it is. So if I take that off, see, there's the dust under there. You can see it? I'm hoping you can. So it does work. Now, I can either leave it like that, or I can put this guy in there, and it's the cradle to hold it. And I'll give you an idea of how efficient it is. I have not changed the bag in down there. So let's take that off. I've emptied this thing 20 times, more than 20 times. Now, you're going to say, Dave, how the hell can you have emptied that 20 times? When I use the CNC machine, I have a 1-horse dust extractor out the back here, and it takes an awful lot of dust. It's huge. Now, I have to empty the bag, but every now and then, like anyone, I forget. And so the plastic bag at the bottom, because the machine's working away for a couple of hours, and the plastic bag in the bottom of the dust extractor is absolutely chockers and hardly doing any work at all. Now, I can't take that plastic bag off and then start moving it around because it's going to blow MDF for whatever I've been cutting all over the place. So I use this hose, this thing, and I stuff this down inside the plastic collection bag, and I clean it out as much as I can, down to around about possibly 10 inches from the top, so about 250 millimeters from the top of the bag. Now, that enables me then to take the bag off, close it up, without it just going absolutely everywhere. So I've done that a heap because I've been using the CNC an awful lot. This thing 20 times. Now, I will open this up and I'll show you how much has gone through into here. This is, it's nothing. Look, I'll take it off there. That's my standard dust bag, and that's how much has gone in the bottom. And I have actually used this without the separator now and then. So that's how efficient it is. Now, if you're someone high volume dust extraction, like if you're sanding all the time, you really do want to think about getting one of these things. As I said, Festool sent it up to me, and I said, I really do want to have a look at it because I've seen people reviewing and talking about it and giving it a hard time. And I thought, I can't imagine why, unless, of course, it's rubbish. So they sent one up, and I played around with it, and I've been talking about it on the show a bit and on other videos. And initially, I thought, no, geez, I'm not happy with this, because I did notice a drop in suction. And then I had a look around, and I thought, it's still collecting. and it's doing a good job, but it's just not as powerful. Every now and then I'll take it off and I'll use, turn this thing up to full bore for stubborn stuff. But I was really impressed, so I bought it. They said, Dave, when can we have it back? I need it for demonstrations. So I want to keep it. So I bought the thing. There you go. That's the story about that. So if you were wondering, how do I know that it's 30% less? I'm going to jump over to this other camera. Where are we? Main camera. Switch it over there. So how do I know that it's 30%? I have a thing called an anemometer. So it measures wind speed, and I can measure the wind speed in front of the dust extractor without the separator on it, and then I can measure at the top of the separator before it goes down to the dust extractor, and I can measure the airspeed in front of the hose on the 27mm hose, and also with the 36mm hose, and also I've put a 50mm hose between the separator and the dust extractor, and I measured that as well. And all of that done, I'm keeping it. That's all there is to it. How's the time going? 25 past. I'm going to do a quick read. Body soon heats up when I'm working in the double. No additional heating. When I sand softwoods like sugar pine, I use polycarbonate. Works to clean the... All right, okay. When I... drum and old flip-flops, yes. Ron Thornton. What does the oscillating function... Yeah, it does stop burning. It gives you more paper to use. It's a 1-inch stroke, I think, and it's very slow as it's going up and down. So, it lets you use the paper more efficiently. My cat's ears pop up, and you say, CNC, my ears pop up. So, CNC next week, Chris. What I'm going to, just make sure you haven't dropped off. Okay. I don't know what that was in relation to there, Peter. Not to worry. Now, CNC, let's have a look. Remember last week I said that I was going to have one of the local woodworking clubs drop in and visit me. So they did, and here's one of the guys. He's not actually a member of the club, he's a neighbour. But I set this up for them. What we did was I created this sign in Aspire software, and I put it up on a large screen, so you can see the computer, the laptop down in front of it. So I put it up on the large screen so everyone could see what I was doing. And then we had about 12 people up here, but only a few of them got into this photo. And you can see I took it over to, I put a piece of rosewood on the CNC, and I carved out their sign for them, and they took it away with them. And hopefully, they'll send me a picture when they've painted it. So what they're going to do is they're going to spray paint the whole sign yellow. They're going to sand this yellow off the top, and so only things down in the carving will show it up. Because yellow or gold, they said gold is their colour. So I'm not going to argue with them. It looked like yellow to me. But there you go. I really enjoyed it. So I spent about 3 hours with this group, and it was very enjoyable. Now again, if you have a woodworking club or men's shed, something like that, and you're interested in having a look at the kind of things I do here, I'm more than happy to open the doors up for you. It has to be a time where it's mutually, able to be done, because I'm under the pump getting these other videos here for Carbatec done at the moment. So, what's the next thing? Everyone's having a good time chatting down there. Check the list. Oh, the Domino, the Bigfoot from TSO. Are you guys... This show gets me through the week. Thanks, Dave. Not a problem, Chris. I'm hoping that what I'm talking about here is interesting enough for you. I'm going to get onto the carving very soon, but I'll quickly demonstrate this Bigfoot and why I like it. Now, the Bigfoot was sent to me. So TSO products see me as what's called a beta tester. So every now and then I'll come home and there'll be a parcel in the lounge room waiting for me. And it's a little bit like Christmas for me, I've got to say. So bubble wrap is going fine. Thank you very much, Peter. So as I say, I was having a look through their website, and I spotted this Bigfoot, and I hadn't seen it before. and I was very impressed. So here we go. I will get the big foot out. I'll switch over to the other camera. I'll drop this down and to there like this. And hopefully when I open the thing up, you'll be able to see it all. Where are we? Go to this one. There we go, and transition. All right, so this is the Domino 700 XL. And if we spin that around just a little bit more like so. So it's one of John's little labels. There's the Domino there. I'll take out the cable for it first. That's the Domino. And I'll switch cameras in a second, but I wanted to show you here. This is the standard thing that Festool supply. And this is the big foot here. So this is just a thing of beauty. We'll pop that up there and that, close this. So I wanted to show you how easily the big foot fits into the 700 Sustainer. Now, I'll put that on in a second. I'm like giving her the new toy. This SENSIBO thing, I love it. It's just amazing. So I can be in bed, wake up, geez, tired. Cold outside, click, click, click. Turn the shed on. Hour later, I'm down in here, walking in a beautiful warm room. Love it. I could be shopping. I could be anywhere in the world that's got an internet connection. I can. Is it a toy? Am I toy crazy? I probably am. Okay, so how often have you been wanting to do a straight down plunge and just concerned that it might rock around a little bit? Or have you wanted to use this? Look, they're both, I love them both. Pocket holes and dominoes, I love them both. If you want to be really exclusive, I did make a comment once. Someone was talking about how would you explain the pocket hole system, and my comment was, it's joinery, Jim, but not as we know it. So if you watch Star Trek, you'll understand what I just said then. Anyway, look, if you've got the domino set up like this, and I want to put, let's say, I want to put a domino in a panel here, and I've only got this little tiny thing, reference point, to stop the machine wobbling around, and because I'm only going down a little bit down the side, this thing's invaluable. So I will show you, we'll do a domino like that. I'll do the plunge. I'm not going to put a domino in it, but I'll do the plunge. And I'll use this guy. I'll switch cameras again. When I get there, tip this up and around, and I might even bring it down a little bit further than that and then tip it up a little bit there. You won't see that quite yet because I haven't done the transition. I'm just trying to get it ready. For the moment, that'll do. So I'm going to switch cameras now. All right. So you can see I've got the Stanton bench, lovely bench, buy one. And I'll slide this in through here. And I'm going to use a couple of John's dogs here. We've got a one like that and one like that. So I'm going to put, don't you love soft closed drawers? Oh. I'm going to put one of those there and one of those there. Slide that back a little, bring this up to here, push it against it. See, it's not going anywhere. The cushion strip here is holding it all. And bring it in, lock it. Okay, that's held. If I wanted to, I could put one in on the other side. Look, why not? We're having fun. Done. How good is that? All right, now I want to put a domino in there. So if I was to use the domino machine at the moment, you can see under here, there's very little stopping this happening. See that? So what we do is Festool have this one. Now this one can screw onto the underside like that, and it increases it increases the depth, so not as much rock, and that's fine. And then TSOs goes on, and I'm going to actually screw it on there so you can see. This is called the Bigfoot. It goes on the 700 and also the 500. So for people that aren't aware, the 500 is, look at that. So now when I put it on there, there's no rocking. There is no rocking. Okay, so let's do a domino with that. I'll put this smaller hose on because it takes the 27mm hose on both the 500 and the other one, 700, this one. And that's quick, quick. And I can't hang around on this too long because I did promise to get some carving done. And I will. So, good day, Dave and viewers. Could you please tell, is there another tool beside tap and die for cutting threads? Yeah, there is. Now I've got one of those things in Arthur's toolbox, and it's for large threads on timber, like they use on the end of a broomstick, things like that. Apart from that, I think Kevin Klein and Mark Spagnolo got together, and they also did. They made their own set, and then there was a war between them and Matthias Wandel. Look, you probably saw it all happen. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I've set the domino to 15mm deep, and typically I'm going to put a domino here, right near the edge, not down here yet. And that is where you like to see the Bigfoot in action. Well, here we go. I'm going to put on, and hopefully it's all going to work for me. Let's see. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Now that is perfectly 90 degrees to the surface here. So it's plunged in perfectly flat. The reason being, there was no wobble in the machine. I didn't have any, stuffing around with a poor inclination. Is that such a word? In that context, let me switch back over to here because I'm going to do a plunge straight down as well. So, So how's everyone's week been? Mine's been really, really busy. I've been doing a heap of research on a topic that I will do a video on very soon, and it's something that I was not aware of. I've gone down this track a little bit, but I've researched a whole heap more, and I'll tell you what, I'm very excited about it. But today, this afternoon, one of the other things I'm going to do is I'm putting. This might be something you're interested in looking at. See, this is a trailer light, and they always get smashed on my trailer. And the bulbs, what have you. I got these. So this little guy here, got it on the web. Now, I'm not throwing up links to it, This thing, in a store, these were going to cost me about $70. Online, $25. So we'll find out this afternoon whether they work or whether I just blew $25 and we'll have to go to the store and get, a proper one anyway. So let's have a look at this. I will move the domino out of the way there. Now this is not to take away from Festool's own foot. It works. But how nice. It makes me feel a whole lot more secure. If I was doing something on a really high-end board and I stuffed it up because I wobbled a little bit, not worth it. So have a think about that thing. That one there, and this one here. I don't really need to hold the stuff down. I do it because, come on. Nope. I've got to adjust it back. This is one of the old ones. Negative that way, I think. A bit more. That's better. Got it. Works. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a plunge straight down, and people are probably concerned that it's all nice and round, and it is. It's all beautiful and round, but this part here is dead parallel. Now, I'm guessing that the distance from there to the center of the cutter is going to be either 4 inches or 100 millimeters. I have not checked, but if it was me, that's what I'd do. I'd do it 100 millimeters because then it'd be a ready reference off the center of the cutter. But that's just me. Let me see. I've got a tape here. Now, let's see if I've been an idiot or whether it's true. It is 4.5 inches on the knocker. That looks pretty good there. Yep, 4.5, which is 115 mil. You know what? I might do a little bit of an email back to Eric and Hans, and see if that can be shortened back just a touch. Might work. Okay, here we go. Undo this one, and then I can pull that up. And now, look at all the surface area that I have in comparison. I hope it doesn't start up on me. In comparison to what I would have had there. So this is the standard one from Festool, and this is the Bigfoot. Now there is going to be times where this is going to be too big because it won't let you get in a certain area. This might be better in some instances, so I'm not throwing that away by any stretch of the imagination. So there we go. Look at the machines just sitting up there like Jackie on its own. How nice is that? So we'll do a plunge. You love it? Got the TSO Bigfoot, and I have yet to get my Domino 500. It was a great, isn't it a fantastic accessory? There you go. Look at that. That's magic. Absolutely beautiful. If I had a straight edge, I can measure the distance. What I could do is I could do a plunge, get a pencil and put a mark beside it. And then I could measure, I could put a straight edge, a set amount of distance away from where I want the next plunge to go. So say I was going to do a heap of plunges along this way. I'm doing a cabinet and I've got all these center shelves that I want to put in, lock in. I could put a cleat along the outside here, or a straight edge of some sort. Bang, bang, bang. What a magic thing. You know, it's beautiful. All right. I think that's going to be enough about that. So Eric and Hans, thank you very much for sending it over to me. That's fantastic. I'm the one that asked them. They didn't say, Dave, I think you should have this. I saw it and I thought, got to have it. Alrighty, I'm going to pop that out of the way over here. Look at that, it just stands up on the floor and I'm not concerned. That's magic. All right, carving. I've got 15 minutes to do some carving. Now, I don't know how good I am at this or whether I'm rubbish, but we'll have a look. I'm not adjusting my air conditioner at the moment with the SENSIBO because I turn the phone off when the show's on, so I don't get any interruptions. Like someone might ring me up and say, can you get some bread? No, Vicky'd never do that while I've got the show, and she knows that. Now, here we go. I'm going to go to CarlCam and we'll work from there. Now, what I've done, you may need to refresh. Oh, Dan Bob, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm happy for you to be watching, and if you're a subscriber, that's fantastic. Oh, look, also you guys, Google tells me what percentage of people are watching the show, whether they're new or subscribers, and there's an awful lot of new people watch this show. So if you are new, please subscribe to the channel, and then you'll be notified once a week that I'm on and waffling on and talking rubbish about really nice products. Okay, or doing some stuff as well, which I'm going to do here. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to ring that little bell icon. So just click on it, and you'll see a little vibration mark either side of it, and that means that you'll be notified every time I come on. So this is Arthur's, so for people that don't know, Arthur is my great-grandfather who passed away in 1949, I think it was. So 50, 60, nearly 70 years ago. And I have all of his tools, his workbench, his tool chest, all his carving tools. And this is in this Hessian wrap. And this is how he used to look after it. Bit of string, looped around. How nice is that? There we go. So what I'm going to do now, oh, also when I go to CarlCam, have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? When I go to CarlCam, you're going to see it go fuzzy a little bit. Now, groundhog spit. The reason that this is the only show that goes fuzzy is because I do not have a thing called NBN, which is the National Broadband Network. I am on an extremely slow network. My upload speed, you will know what your upload and download speeds are at your place. My upload speed is 0.8 of a megabyte. It's nothing, it's rubbish. I'm hoping that in the next 3 to 4 months, my speed will be 40 megabytes up. So you'll be able to see me in full HD, or maybe even if I get 4K cameras, maybe in 4K. Now, so groundhog spit, I'm sorry about that. That's just how it is. So when I go to this camera up above here, I've actually zoomed it in a little bit. Now, it's not an optical camera, it's a digital zoom. So it's going to look a little bit softer yet again. So let's give it a shot. And it's called CarlCam. The reason being is there's a guy who watches the show every now and then called Carl, and he bought the camera and posted it over from the States for me. How nice is that? So can you see this all right? Working fine for you on the iPad. Excellent. Excellent. Well, maybe it's Groundhog Spit's connection as well with my bad connection. I don't know. I don't know. So here we go. I'll move these out of the way over there for the moment. Bring this bad boy into play. I'm going to try and carve that. Now the thing with this is, it is a straight down cut here, so it's a perpendicular cut to carry on. See, this edge here is a hard edge. I need to carry that through the scroll. The back of the scroll will be in at a V. So we'll see what happens. All right, you're watching from YouTube. See, there's another thing. If you're watching through Facebook, you may be getting it soft. Now I'm going to have a look at the carving chisels he's got here. There's a round. So I'm after things that have got a scallop. I don't know. A scallop is a, for us in New South Wales, a scallop is a piece of potato that's been deep fried. So I've got 3 there that are looking, I've got 4 there. Now these are different radiuses on the curve. Looked at that nice tools, keeping tools working in not dead and non-shells. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so now this is the one that I'm going to use first. And I'm going to use my wooden mallet, which I made. And I'm going to start around about there. And I'm going to do it in just small sections as we go. Now I can clean this up. Can you see how it's going there? I'm working my way around. In a minute I'm going to go to a smaller radius chisel. Like right now. Because I'm coming into a tighter section of curve. Oop, that's not, it's too tight. Back to the other one, David. Now, if you're a full-on wood carver, you'll be looking at me now and shaking your head. I do not pretend to be a class act as far as woodworking, as far as carving is concerned. But other things I'm not too bad at. I'm going to do this last, go down to a smaller one, even still, and it's there. And I'm going to come, look at that, how nice is that? And I'm going to use I've got a really, really wide curve here. Okay, now I have that curve all the way around. See how I've gone into the waist here? It doesn't really matter. Okay, use a V-chisel first to cut the relief to stop splitting. Okay, well, what I'm going to do next is possibly even come down with this large one at 45 degrees. And then come back across the top, and across the top, and back again. Okay, that's going all right. Tell you what, that's not looking too bad. How are we going for time? I'll probably be about 5 years working on this. See that? You see that? I'll move this along a little. Now I'm going to go off the end of the bench if I go any further that way. But what I've got is, that's on the side here, that's resting in the tool rest, so it's not going to go anywhere. And I need something a little bit rounder. Okay, so this is a little bit tighter on the turn. See how the cushion strip is stopping it sliding all around the place? It's moving a little bit, but not a lot. Yeah, this is fun. I really enjoy this. You know why? If I get it wrong, it doesn't matter. Let's just get another chunk of wood, start again. But I'm finding this is going all right. Now, if I'm, need to go to a smaller one. If I'm not following the template 100%, it doesn't matter. The manual part. Now I'm not going to lift too hard because if I haven't gone all the way down, I don't want to stuff it up. I don't want to lift this section. If I lift that part with the white paper on it, it's curtains. I need to come back a little bit there. Oh, went too far there, David. Go to a wider chisel. And these chisels I have not touched. See how sharp they are? Oh, I love it. Come back in here with this one. To possibly there. The other thing I like about hand carving is it's not as accurate as a machine. Like I love accurate machines, don't get me wrong, but this is kind of a little bit of a break from it. It's a little bit more organic. like this, the CNC, I can't do this. As I mentioned the other week, the reason being, it's a V and a 90 degree. Now, a cutter that's spinning, you can't get that 90 degree and the V at the same time. It's just not going to happen unless I don't know what I'm talking about, which is possible, of course. Go to a smaller one again, come around that corner. How nice is this? All right, now this is the one that I did before. That's the other direction. Do you like it? I might have wanted to do a few practical strokes and some software to get a bit familiar with the technique. Of course I could have, David, but where's the fun in that? Involved making these shows, Dave. There is an awful lot of work making these shows. Thank you. I'm down in the shed normally at around 6:30 in the morning, and we go live at 11. So that's just the last day's preparation. I spend probably another 3 hours during the week getting it ready. Let me go to the other camera so we can whip over there and there. All right. Okay, so here's the thing though, Peter. This is not a V. This carving is a 90 degree down straight away and then a V coming in this way. So I can't do that on a CNC unless I use a very, very, very small ball nose, maybe even less than 1/8 of an inch diameter. And the ball nose would go down and it would travel up at that angle. I could do it, but man, oh man. Exactly right, full steam ahead. So a 3-hour show is a... Chris, are you a masochist? Do you really want to hang out in the shed with me for 3 hours, for crying out loud, buddy? I'd get sick of myself for 3 hours. What's the next thing? Yeah, full steam ahead. Why not, David? We're just about at the end of the thing. I'm going to have a look down the side here. We're all good with everything there. I've shown you the pictures of the Blue Mountains and Penrith Woodworking Club. I've shown you the pictures of the J-Boss, this guy here, the jet oscillating sander, and shown you it in use a little bit, and I've told you that you might be able to get it for free if you order it through Carbatec's website and put in the promo code Stanton. A lot of days between shows. You're crazy, man, Chris. All right, promo code Stanton and click the activate code or whatever it is. There's a little button beside it. I can't remember what it was. And you'll see the code disappears, but you'll see across the bottom, just above the dollar amount, it'll say you've gone into the draw, continue the sale, and end of October or when stock sells out, Carbatec will send me all of the names of the people that are entered in this way. I will enter it into Rafflecopter, so it'll be me doing it, just the same as I've done with the Jessam clear-cut table saw stock guides, which Leroy won, and he's over the moon with those things. They're not no cheap item. Those things are around about $400 Australian, I think. So this is a kind of a similar thing. Buy the thing and run. Only if you're in the market for one. If you're in the market for a bobbin sander, get it. If you're not in the market, don't do it. Unless, of course, you want to buy one for someone as a Christmas present and possibly be able to load them up with $500 worth of gift cards as well. That'd be nice. So there you go. The carving's looking fantastic. Mitch, how are you, buddy? I'm still waiting on you to do something for me, and I think you'll remember. I check. Okay, so I helped Mitch out. I think it was Mitch. I helped out with his table saw. the riving knife was leaning off at an angle. So there is an adjuster. Do you know what? That might be an idea for a show. I'll show everyone next week how to adjust your riving knife if you feel it's out of play. Because there's good adjustment, it's about the same in all table saws. So I'll show you that. If I remember, remind me, if you went for 3 hours, indeed she would. So this afternoon, remember, I got to replace these on a trailer. I've got to pick some more machines up. Carbatec are releasing all of the videos that I did on their YouTube channel. Don't be too hard on me. The later machines that I've done, I'm back to myself. But the first couple, I was using a thing called Auto Cue. And it's basically a piece of glass that slopes like this in front of the camera's lens. The camera's here, there's the piece of glass. Camera's here, looking at Muggins on this side, and there's a little laptop here, and it's throwing stuff up in mirror reverse. So I read I do all the text and everything, I read it. Now the first couple of times I did it, I was a little bit like the bunny in the headlight, you know, because I'm trying to focus on what's happening with the machine beside me, and talking and reading, and everything's happening at once. So as I say, the first couple, I'm a bit lame. But as I say, after that, I'm starting to get the hang of it, slowly. So you go to Carbatec's YouTube website if you want to have a bit of a giggle. Don't give me a hard time. All right, I think that's about it, guys. I'll check the list here. There was no competition this week prior, so there's no one to read out. How do you heat and cool your shop? Is what we did this week. This guy here, this is a little remote, so you can turn it on anywhere. TSO DBF-45. What an accessory this is. I love it. And it's a great color. You like the color? What else did we do? A little bit of hand carving here with Arthur's tools. And as I say, they're all so super sharp. I haven't touched them. They're straight from, 70 years ago. He probably wasn't even using them 70 years ago because he would have been old and, wouldn't be doing this kind of stuff. Support the channel through Patreon, and the links that I supply down there, I'm upfront with all of you guys about what happens. And I think that's about it. Just have a look down here. Learn a lot from the show, Dave, and I get to chat loads of people around the world. That's another thing. This is like an online men's shed, if you want to look at it like, and girls shed, not a problem at all. Great show again. Dave M, thank you for the show. Thanks, that's great. Thanks for saying thanks. Okay, now I want that container load of these things empty. Okay, do your best, knock them out. And what do we got here? Intro and text and all of this stuff. As I say every week, thanks for watching. Look after yourselves and be nice to each other. See you later.